what's up? My name's Alea. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome to another reading vlog. So this week we're going to be doing a Valentine's Day themed reading vlog, and I'm really excited because I have a lot of romance books on my TBR, and there's a few monster romances that I am thinking about potentially reading. Basically I have a few that I might just like mood read my way throughout this vlog. So the first one is called Come to Cupid, and this is one that I rolled in my TBR board game, and this is a romance about a guy who is a Cupid, and the Cupids in this world, they basically have this job to like make sure that love stays alive in the human world, but they're not allowed to have any love for themselves. They're not allowed to like be married or have a partner or anything like that. And this Cupid guy realizes that that's really stupid and decides that he's going to go and abduct a human woman. So he abducts this lady named Jillian, and she's a human, and I think they end up having like a fun little spicy time, but I'm not sure what exactly her deal is, like why he picked her, but it's a pretty short novella, so I thought that one would be really good for Valentine's Day specifically. And then there's another one that comes out February 13th, so as of filming this intro it's not out yet, but it's called A Passion for Potions by Dahlia Davies. So I've read Dahlia Davies before and I've enjoyed some of her other stuff, and this one is her newest release, and I'm not sure if it's a why choose or what exactly the deal is, or if it's like a poly romance, because there's 3 people on the cover. It looks like there's like 1 lady and 2 guys, and I'm not sure what the deal is because it doesn't really say in the synopsis, but all it really says online is that this is a cozy fantasy romance about potion making, and I thought that was really cool because I haven't really read any books about potion making specifically, and also the characters on the cover look like they could be monsters or like have magic powers potentially. And so I was interested in that one. I think that one's going to be really cool. So those are kind of the ones on my tentative TBR. We'll see what I end up getting to. I'm just going to like mood read whatever I feel like I'm in the mood for. And then I also really want to like just hang out this week, and I've been getting into watching RuPaul's Drag Race. So I think I'm going to watch some of the newer seasons of that. And then Peyton and I are going to go and get lunch on Valentine's Day at this restaurant. It's like an Italian place, but they're kind of on the bougier side. Like whenever I read the menu, I don't know what half the foods are, but it's really good and they have really good meatballs. So we're gonna go there and I'm gonna get some meatballs, and I'm really excited. So anyways, without any further ado, let's get into the reading vlog. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the reading vlog. So this morning I was thinking that we could start off the vlog with maybe making some homemade rolls, because I feel like doing some stress baking, to be honest, because it's kind of a scary time right now in the US. There's a lot of things going on right now, and I feel like lately all I want to do is watch other people's really cozy, comforting vlogs. So I'm going to try my best to put my whole bussy into making this like the coziest vlog possible. And so basically get some tea, get some water, get some food if you haven't eaten today, and we're going to hang out and have a little cozy time. And we're going to be making some homemade bread with my dad's recipe, and I'm really excited because I haven't made these rolls in a really long time, and I'm excited to get into it. So without any further ado, let's start baking. Hi, Ringbee. Brrr. Hi, weirdo. Helper. This is my assistant, Mr. Ringbee. So this is a super easy recipe. We only have 4 ingredients that we're starting off with. It's literally water, flour, yeast, and salt, and that's it. And then you just stick it in a little bowl, you let the dough rise for like 3 hours, and then when it's done you bake it. And it's really easy, honestly. Basically the dough ends up being just like a big dough ball, and you can like slice it into however many rolls you want. So you can do like 4 big ones, you can do like 6, you can do like 8 little ones, whatever you want to do. And it's a really good time right now for like soup and bread season. So usually what I'll do is like make homemade chicken noodle soup and then make these rolls to go with it. But I think tonight we're gonna make some pasta. We're gonna make like Italian sausage pasta and then have these rolls with it. And I'm really excited because I think it's gonna be really good. And these are just super easy. They're also really good if you're like going to a potluck or like Thanksgiving dinner or something and you want to bring something to like contribute to the meal. This is a really good recipe for that as well.
Doing crazy dreaming.
Could you get me doing the roll skip? You get flour everywhere too. Are you doing the thing where you zoom too much?
No.
I don't. Hello, my sweet petunias. So I have a reading update for you. So Peyton and I went to a little coffee shop yesterday and I started Come to Cupid, and it's very, very spicy, I have to say. It's a really short novella and we're following, like I said, a human woman and a guy who's a Cupid who abducts her, and he is very much like a alpha male asshole kind of a guy. And so sometimes that was kind of fun, but I feel like it got old kind of quick, even though it was a short novella. So that was kind of not my favorite thing ever. I just feel like I don't really gravitate towards those kinds of like male lead characters, if that makes sense. He was a little too like bossy asshole for me. And by the end, they're like, oh my god, we're in love. And I'm like, dude, like you don't know anything about her. Like 95% of the novella is literally just like straight smut scenes. And he doesn't really know anything about her, and neither do we, in terms of like her backstory or like her family or her job or her interests or like anything. And he basically just abducts her off the street, takes her to his place, and then they have like a one-way ticket to Pound Town, if you know what I'm saying, which is fun. Like the smut was fun, whatever. But he's just kind of like a little bit bossy and like kind of controlling. He wasn't like mean, but I feel like it could have been more tender and I probably would have liked it more, if that makes sense. So I think I'm going to give that one like a 2.5 or maybe a 3. I feel like I've rated other romances this year 3 stars that I liked more than this one. So it was good. I mean, I like the Cupid element in terms of like, I haven't read about Cupids before, and I liked the discussion about his like wings and the powers that he has and that kind of stuff. That was cool. But in terms of like their relationship or like, you know, how much I enjoyed the spice and all of that, I think it was definitely not my favorite, but it was fine. And then I also decided to go and look into some more Valentine's Day books because I really want this to be like a heavily Valentine's Day vlog. And I've kind of decided that since I've been so into looking into specifically monster romances that are set during specific holidays, I think I'm going to make this a whole series on my channel. It's going to be like the monster holiday romance vlogs basically, and so I'm going to create a playlist and everything, so I'll leave that link down below because I did one for Christmas recently, and then this one's going to be the Valentine's Day one, I think, and then I would like to do one for St. Patrick's Day and Easter and maybe like Halloween, Thanksgiving, because those are ones that I've seen quite a few books for. So I'm excited about making this a series. So if you're interested in that, make sure that you like and subscribe so that you don't miss any future monster holiday vlogs. But I basically feel like this holiday, Valentine's Day, is the one that I'm struggling with the most in terms of like finding monster specific books for that holiday that look good and interesting. So I found a couple more on Kindle Unlimited that I want to explore. So there's one that's it's Valentine's Day with a Vampire, and I haven't heard anybody talk about this. It's supposed to be kind of like a pulpy noir romance, and I think it's between a human woman and a vampire guy, and I've seen good reviews for it though on like Kindle Unlimited has like the little Amazon reviews, and also on Goodreads, people seem like they like it. And the cover is really, really pretty. I love the hot pink with like the vampire element. I think that would be really fun. I've never read a Valentine's Day vampire book specifically, so I think that would be kind of cool to see how that goes. And then I also found another one that's called Stupid Cupid that also follows Cupids, but I think these ones are more, one more gay, which is fabulous, and also more of like a monster, versus the Come to Cupid one that I read was more like the guy was a Cupid and had like the wings and powers and stuff, but he looked like a human, if that makes sense. So these guys look more monstrous, and I'm excited about that. And I think it's between two guys who are gay. I think one is a Cupid who is like super against love and romance and the whole thing. He like doesn't believe in falling in love. And then the other one, I'm not sure if he's a Cupid as well or if he's a different kind of monster. Anyways, I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be really fun. And I think that one's also pretty short as well. And then I found an additional Valentine's Day romance that I would like to read for this vlog. It's not monsters though. So I think what I'm probably going to do for this series is like try to make it mostly monster focused books. But if I find like a one-off here or there that's not monsters but still is like set during the holiday that the vlog is for, then I might throw it in on the side. So I also am going to throw in this one, Puck Shy, and I already started this one. I'm like 35% of the way in, and it's really, really good. And so I really wanted to talk about it with you in this vlog because we're following this guy who's like a famous hockey player. He's like the captain of the hockey team, and he plays for this like Seattle, like famous league team. And he's been playing since college, and now he's in his early 30s, and he's kind of getting to the point where his body's kind of hurting, like he knows he may not be able to do it very much longer physically, and he's also getting into like starting an acting career, and so he's got a lot going on in his life, like professionally. And then he also has an identical twin brother who just announced publicly that he's in this like throuple relationship, and because they look identical, people sometimes mistake him for his twin, or people have been like harassing him, like the paparazzi and stuff are harassing him about like his sexuality and like does he agree with his brother being this throuple and yada yada yada. And it's really like getting under his skin because he's really supportive of his brother and they're really close, and he's like, you know, my brother's love life has nothing to do with me or my career or whatever, but he feels like he has been like kind of under the gun in terms of like the media being like hounding him and stuff, and then also just being really busy with his career. So he really has not dated or like been in a relationship or hooked up with anybody or anything for a long time, and he is like stressed and his body's hurting from hockey and stuff. And one of his teammates, who's like quite a bit younger than him, his teammate's like 21, he's like, hey man, like you need to get laid, like you need to like get your head out of this funk that you've been in with all the work shit and drama and whatever. And so his friend convinces him to go to this sex club on Valentine's Day, and it's like a masked party thing, and they have to sign paperwork saying that like, you know, they won't talk about anything that happens there, your identity's a secret, yada yada. And so they go, and he meets this woman there, and he calls her Cherry because she's got like cherry red lipstick and like a red outfit on, and she is like performing at this mansion where the masked sex party is, and she and her friend basically do like spicy stuff on a stage in front of people as like part of the attraction of the event anyway. And so he and her friend end up like having a three-way scenario at the party, and he like really falls for her and is like really down bad for her like from the jump. And they also have really good banter before the spice ever happens, and so I'm excited about this one. I feel like they have really good chemistry. I like him. He's like a super hot hockey player guy, and she is basically just trying to like make ends meet. She's got like a couple different jobs, and she's like curvy and plus size and sassy and really sweet. And also there's a twist in here too, because I think one of the people who's in the throuple with his twin brother, the girl, is our main heroine's sister. And so basically the hockey guy is like her longtime crush, like she's watched him play hockey for years, and it's like her celebrity crush kind of situation. And she knows who he is at the masked party, but he doesn't know who she is. And he doesn't know that she's basically like his future sister-in-law. and so that's kind of some tea as well. So anyways, it's very fraught, it's very drama, it's very spicy, but it's like done well, and the banter's there and the backstory is there, even though it's a novella. And I think it's actually the second in a series. There's like a Christmas one that's the first one that's about the throuple like forming, and I've seen that one around before on Goodreads, but I haven't read it yet. So anyways, so I'm kind of reading them out of order, but it doesn't seem to be like affecting my understanding of the story at all, right, basically. So anyways, that's where I'm at in terms of reading. And then Peyton and I also went to a really fun antique store that's like new in town, and that was really cool. And then we also went and got meatballs at the Italian place, and that was really good too. So anyways, so we've had some fun adventures. The reading is going well. I'm really excited that I picked up Puckshy because that one's going really good, and I'm also excited to get into the other monster romances. So that's all I have for you right now, and I will talk to you later on. Hello, so I have a reading update for you. So I just finished a few books and I wanted to give you a little reading update. So I finished Puckshy, and I'm gonna give this one 2 stars. The first half was so good, and the characters had such good banter, and there was so much sexual tension, and then in the last half it just totally lost me, and by the end I like almost DNF'd it and didn't even want to finish it when I was at like 95% in, because basically our 2 main characters have all this tension and build up at the beginning, and then they are like kind of fighting it, and the girl basically tells him like, hey, you know, I'm working for you, I don't feel comfortable with us like having a relationship or anything, like we just need to be friends. And he's like trying to respect that boundary, and so he like totally backs off, and then she gets pissed because she feels like he's over her and doesn't like her anymore, and she like basically says she's mad at him because he's not like staring at her boobs at work. Like, girl, what? Like, you told him to back off, and he's like a respectful gentleman and is doing what you asked, and now you're mad. Like, that's not how this works, honey, you know what I mean? And anyways, so then whatever, she and some of his hockey player teammates like kind of devise this little scheme, this little plan to like piss him off, and she basically wears another guy's jersey to his hockey game, and he sees her in another guy's jersey and like just basically sees red and is like super pissed off about it, and that's her way of like getting him to like stop doing the friend thing and to like come on to her again, basically. Whatever. But the thing that really got me about this is that he is always talking about how he wants to like get to know her and date her and like take her out to dinner and stuff, and he is basically like really wealthy and famous and stuff, so he can like totally afford to do that. And he also like has a mansion, and he not once takes this woman out on a date or like buys her dinner or like invites her to his house or any of that stuff. And it was really obnoxious because all of the scenes that we get with them where we're in the scene is all like spicy scenes, and the majority of those scenes they're having like 3 ways with other people as well, because she is really like sexually adventurous and likes to like perform at sex clubs and like have sex with multiple people and like group scenes and stuff like that, and he's like down for that. But the only time that they ever like sleep together with just the 2 of them is in a public bathroom at a bar. Like, totally not romantic, totally dirty, crusty. It's giving UTI on the bathroom floor. Gross. Like, it's a hot scene, but it's like, okay, you're wealthy, you say you want to take this girl and get to know her, so you like get her to work for you so you can see her all the time, and then you still never take her out, still never like ask a lot of questions about her personal life and stuff. And it talks about like, oh, we're getting to know each other, yada yada, but we never get to see those scenes. Like, there's a 2-month time jump in here, and then it's like, oh, you know, we've gotten to know each other, but we never get to see that. We never get to see their banter after the first half of the story. And so anyways, and then the whole ending of the book is them sleeping with other people, like the whole time. Like with in-group scenes and stuff, not like cheating or anything, but still, it's just like, you know, we had this great build-up, and then the end just fell off in terms of like their relationship development, character development, and being on page. Ooh, pissed me off. Anyways, so I like the hockey elements, but it just fell apart for me in the last half. So I'm gonna give this one a 2, and I was thinking more about the first book that I read for this vlog, and I also kind of want to give that one a 2. The like Comfort Cupid or whatever. But I picked up another book on Kindle Unlimited that was really, really good. So this one's called Valentine's Day with the Vampire, and this one's kind of cool because it's like a kind of like a vintage noir kind of a vibe, but it's also like a fantasy romance set during Valentine's Day. So we're following this woman who is a vampire hunter, and we're also following this guy who is like a vampire lord, so he's like a super powerful vampire, and he has this ability where he can like shapeshift into this like giant bat demon, which is really cool. And basically the two of them end up crossing paths because she gets an order from her boss to go and take out this vampire lord guy, Victor. And so she's kind of like stalking him a little bit, trying to figure out like how she's going to take him out. Well, then they end up going to this auction, and she's like kind of trailing him, and he and she get into this like bidding war over this magical object at the auction, and she's basically just bidding on it to like mess with him, but he ends up getting it, and it's this old like little statue relic thing, and long story short, he ends up using it by accident to summon a eldritch god. And basically this god is now like trying to like come into their city like through this void, and like this, basically it tears a hole in like the realms, and it like comes through, and it's this crazy like demon thing. And she sees it happen in the street because she basically like prowls around at night and like takes care of any paranormal whatever things that are going on that are bad that she sees, and she like prevents it from happening because she's a really good fighter even though she's a human. And anyway, so she sees this whole situation with him accidentally summoning this god, and she helps him kind of like figure out what they're going to do because he doesn't know how to get rid of it. And so they end up having to work together to like save the world, kind of, because if this eldritch god comes in, it's going to kill everybody. And so they have to kind of like team up and come up with a plan to take out the eldritch god, and then as they're doing that, they fall in love, which is very like forbidden because she hates vampires. She had a sister who was killed by vampires when they were little kids, and so she's like very anti-vampire, has been hunting them for a career for a long time. And anyways, and he is like super down bad for her. She has like this magical bloodline, and he can like smell it, and she is like really powerful because of her bloodline, but also that certain bloodline like tastes really good to vampires, and so he's like drawn to her because of her blood, but also they have like really good banter. And I like this one because the fantasy elements and the like fantasy magical fight scenes remind me a lot of How to Marry a Lich, and that one also has eldritch gods, and it's really, really good. But this one also has like some good spicy scenes. There's like a period sex scene in here, which I thought was kind of cool. You don't see those very often, and I thought that was really done well, and that was kind of fun to read about. And then I also really like their banter and sexual tension, and they have a lot of scenes that kind of like build their relationship, and basically you get to see them like plotting and scheming and trying to figure out, okay, how are we going to get rid of this god, and how can we kind of like join forces and get over our differences to be able to like, you know, work together. Anyways, it was really good. It was really fun. Very short little novella, and also they have to do this like ritual thing that they come up with to get rid of the eldritch god on Valentine's Day during the full moon, and it was really, really good. Had really good like Valentine's Day vibes too, because he's like setting up dates for her and like trying to be really romantic with her and like get her to like agree to be with him because he kind of sees them as like mates. Ooh, very, very good. Really enjoyed that one. And then I also just started Stupid Cupid. I'm not very far in, but so far that one kind of has like some similar vibes to these other books that I've read, where there's cupids and there's also a like sex club element in here, similar to Puckshy. So anyways, and the main guy is very like, he's a cupid, but he's super anti-love, if that makes sense. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. And then I also found this other one, and I forgot what the name of it is.
This is a treasure hunt! This is a professional operation!
But it's got a really cool cover. It's another like fantasy romance novella set during Valentine's Day, and this one's set at like a magical fantasy university, and I think one of the main characters is trans, or either non-binary or trans. I'm not sure yet. I'm right at the very beginning. But it's kind of cool because in this fantasy university place, they have classes in these like outdoor pods that are up in the trees, and it's very cool. Rigby's being an absolute demon from the 7th layer of hell today, by the way. Anyways, but our main character seems to have like a second chance romance with this other character, and they're sitting in class, and then she walks in with her like magical familiar animal, and he or they, I'm not sure what the pronouns are yet, are like immediately drawn to her. And it seems like they had like some kind of rivalry thing before. I think they're both like competing to be valedictorian, and we're also doing that like at a high school or something before university, and so they're sort of like frenemies at the moment, I think. But it's kind of cool because the main character, I think, is like a demon and has like wings and horns and is red and stuff. And then I think the girl is like a, I don't know, she almost looks like a fawn kind of on the cover with like hooves and ears and stuff. So anyways, I'm excited about the magical monster elements in here. So that's kind of where I'm at, and I'm hoping that we can finish this vlog tomorrow and then get this up before the end of the month, because I've had a lot of videos I'm working on and I want to wrap it up. And also, my lovely husband made a really fun intro for this vlog with the little like monster grabbing the camera and stuff. So anyways, I hope you like that. He's been working really hard on it. So anyways, that's the update I have for you, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Hello, my sweet petunias. So I have some reading updates for you. I also have a new mic, so let me know what you think of the new mic. I feel like all my favorite YouTubers have this little mic with a little puffball on it, and it's really fun. So I finished a couple more things. So I finished Setting Up Love, which is the 4th book in a little novella series, and I have not read the other books. I tried to read the first book for my like Christmas holiday monster romance vlog, but I just couldn't get into it because the world building was really like all telling and no showing kind of a deal at the beginning, and I just like was like, okay, this is too much information, I don't really get it. But I read this one and I really, really loved it, so now I really want to go back and read the whole series. So we're following two main characters. One of them is a girl and her name is Zinnia, and she's a satyr, and the other one is our other main character, Ren, and they're non-binary. They use they them pronouns, and Ren is a cambion, which I had never heard of this creature before, but basically it's like a half demon half human hybrid, and usually the demon is like an incubus or a succubus. So this is what a cambion looks like, in case you're curious, but it looks a lot like a lot of demons that I've read about before in monster romances. But anyway, so our main characters, Zinnia and Ren, are like super hardcore academic rivals. They went to high school together, they've known each other for a really long time, and they've always kind of like been at each other's throats, but at the same time they like make each other better because they're always trying to one up each other because they're both trying to get valedictorian. And so now they're like seniors in college and they're trying to get valedictorian in their senior year before they finish school, and they have a lot of the same classes and stuff, and they're both like really smart people, but they don't have like a ton of other friends and stuff. Like they're very, you know, focused on their schooling, which is kind of cool because I was like that when I was in school, so it's kind of cool to read about characters that are really driven about their academics. But basically Zinnia is more like sassy and stuff, and she also is kind of like more spicy than Ren in terms of like she's into like BDSM and stuff like that. She's gone to like sex clubs and things of that nature. And Ren is a little bit more like reserved, I would say, but they have really super good banter and they're always like giving each other shit about everything. And Ren decides to come up with this like anti-Valentine's Day kind of like game for them to play with each other, and basically they're trying to like use their magic and play pranks on their fellow students at the university. And basically the deal is that like whoever can make the most people like ask each other out or like fall in love, like create these like fake couples basically using like magic potions, or like giving somebody a love potion or that kind of thing. Whoever can like make the most couples by Valentine's Day wins, and they get to like whatever, ask a favor of the other one or whatever. Anyways, it's just like a fun little game that they're playing to like play pranks on other people, but also like it allows them to kind of be around each other more. And it's really cute. And the Valentine's Day vibes are definitely there. They also go to like a Valentine's Day amusement park, and they go on like some dates and stuff as well, because that ends up being part of it as well, that they like kind of start dating and get to know each other past the like academic rivals vibe that they have going on. So it's kind of like a enemies to lovers, but set at a magic university. And the setting is really cool because at this university, it's set up, it almost reminds me of like the setting in like Avatar, the movies, where it's just like in this jungle up in the trees and stuff. And there's these pods in the trees, and that's where their college classes are. And everybody on the campus is like a different magical being. So there's like satyrs, there's cambions, there's some humans, there's a lot of elves, there's all these different creatures. And it's really cool. It's very like diverse. And they're learning about like potions and charms. And everybody also has a magical animal familiar. And so like our main character Zinnia has a magical elk that has like owl wings. It's like part elk, part owl, and that's her like familiar. And then Ren has like a mix between a fox and some other creature that's their animal familiar. And their familiars also like help them do magic stuff as well. It's pretty cool. So anyways, the magic in here was really good. I thought the banjo was really fun. The spicy scenes were also fun. There's like a little bit of BDSM stuff, but it's not like super intense or anything. And I thought that it was pretty fleshed out and like interesting and had enough plot for to like keep me engaged, even though it was a novella. And I appreciated that, because sometimes steamy novellas, there's not really a lot of plot going on. But I liked it. I thought it was really good. And it's the last one in the series. And I kind of wish that there was more, because I feel like we could have like followed some of the side characters maybe in another book. But the author said it's the last one. So, oh well. But I really liked it. I thought it delivered on the monster romance vibes and the Valentine's Day vibes, which is really cool. So anyways, overall, it was really fun. And then I also have been reading A Passion for Potions a little bit, but I don't think I'm going to finish that one in this vlog because it doesn't really have the Valentine's Day vibes. Like, it came out on Valentine's Day this year, but it isn't really set during Valentine's Day at all. And it does seem like we're following one girl who is working in this shop, and her mom is like very overbearing, and you can tell she's like not really happy, and her mom is kind of like trying to control her life, and she's very much like under her mom's thumb, and her mom is not a very nice person, kind of treats other people like shit and is very like dramatic and stuff. And our main character is like very sweet. Her name's Anna, and everybody in the town really likes her. And there's this new guy who comes to town, and he sees her at like a restaurant or whatever, and he's like super into her immediately. And then I think there's another guy who's going to come to town too, who's a vampire, and I think he's going to fall for her too, and they're going to have like, I don't know, a throuple or something. But I don't know, it doesn't really have the vibes of like the other books in this vlog, so I like it. It's a fun monster romance, but I don't think it quite fits the vibe, so I think I'm gonna finish it just outside of this vlog. But overall, I think this was an interesting kind of experiment of a vlog to combine like a specific holiday with the monster romance stuff. And I'm also gonna keep doing these vlogs, I think, as the seasons go on, because I think I'd like to do one for St. Patrick's Day and Easter and Halloween and like some other holidays in the future. I think that'd be really fun. But I feel like Valentine's Day was the hardest one for me to find books for, in terms of like that's really specific niche pairing of holiday plus monster romance. So just to recap, I read Come to Cupid, which I gave 2 stars. I read Puck Shy, which I also gave like 2 stars because I didn't really like the ending, and that one was more of like a human romance. And then I read Valentine's Day with a Vampire, which I really liked, and that one had the Eldritch Gods in it, which was really fun. And then I read Setting Up for Love, which I also really liked. So kind of half and half in terms of my enjoyment. But I would say I think my favorite one was Valentine's Day with a Vampire, and then Setting Up for Love, and then Puck Shy and Come to Cupid if I had to like rank them in terms of how much I like them. But overall, it was fun, and I'm excited to do some more digging and find some other holiday monster romances. But if you have any recommendations on ones you think that I should read for any holiday, let me know down below. And thank you so much for watching. If you made it to the end of this video, leave me a bow and arrow emoji in the comments. And thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see some more videos from me, and I will see you in another video very soon. Bye!